All right, guys, we're going to take a look at question number 20 on page 88. And this is going to ask us to do a couple of things as we think about together. So this says 1 gram. So I'm just going to write down what it's telling me. So 1 gram of hydrogen. Now, I know that hydrogen appears as H2. You can just write the word hydrogen if you want. This says reacts completely. Also, I'm not going to have anything left over. Everything's going to get used up. Reacts completely with 19.0 grams of fluorine. There is no L there. So let's just get that out of the way. I started to write fluorine, and here we go. That's going to be F2. Okay, so 1 gram plus 19 grams of fluorine. And it says, the question is, what is the percent mass of H2? Well, if you recall, the percent mass, right, formula is mass of the element, and in this case, that's going to be the mass of hydrogen, right, over the mass of the compound. Well, how do I find the mass of the compound? Right? Well, I was told that these two items completely react. So if they completely react, how much compound do I have when this reaction is over? 1 gram plus 19 grams. I have 20 grams of the compound. Right, so you see I had to do law of mass conservation before I could, and then I've got to say times 100. I left that out. Sorry about that. Because we're doing percent, we always have to have the times 100. So here we go. We're going to do our math here for the percent mass equals. So 1 gram divided by 20 grams times 100 to give me percent mass of the hydrogen. So then, without guessing, I'm just going to go to my calculator, divided by 1, divided by 20, times 100. That is, now you might be tempted to write, I got 5, you might be tempted to write 5%, but if we look back at our data, we have 2 sig figs, right? So we need to write 5.0% H2. Or hydrogen. If you're not comfortable writing that H2 yet or don't know why you should write H2, that's fine. All right. So we used law of mass conservation, and then we used percent by mass, which was the mass of the element divided by the mass of the compound times 100. So 1 over 20 times 100 to give me the percent by mass of hydrogen. Could I also, now you can tell me this, could I also find the percent mass of fluorine? I could. Now think about this. If we do it by the problem, it's going to be 19, I didn't ask us to do this, 20 times 100 equals what, right? So 19, are you laughing at me for doing this on my calculator? Times 100, that's going to be 95%, right? 95% fluorine. Now, if there are only 2 elements in this compound, could you have told me that the other percent was 95? Sure, you could have just subtracted from 100, right? Now, if there are 3 or more, if there are 3 things or more in a compound, you wouldn't be able to do that until you got to the very end. All right, so that's how we do, how we would combine a problem that gives us some information, so we have to use the law of mass conservation or conservation of mass, and then our percent by mass.